Hi, welcome back to my greenhouse. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher and I do gardening. So today I wanted to just show you what's going on with my plants. Some are doing better than others, but finally everything has sort of settled in and is starting to grow. We've had some horrible weather, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Yeah, so those are my neighbors. They're really friendly. So we've had some bad weather, and I've been struggling a lot with moist air, cold, moist nights and days. And it's been constantly at 100% humidity in here. So it's not been the best for some of my plants, but now finally the forecast says that it's actually going to be a little bit sunny the next 10 days or so. So hopefully now is the time where things really get into growing. So it's gonna be a somewhat shorter tour for my taste. When I do tours, they always end up being 50 minutes, and that's not the case for this one. This is going to be only for the greenhouse, and I'm also gonna do one outside, but I'm just gonna have to wait a couple of weeks or so for things to actually grow that much that it's something to show. So I'm not going to mention each and every single variety because there's almost as many varieties as there is plants in this greenhouse, but I'm just going to show you my tomatoes and my cucumbers and everything. It's not going to be too detailed. We're going to go more into details on each single plant once we get fruits on things, because then it's more exciting to know the difference, because to be honest, now everything kind of looks the same. So yeah, let me just grab the camera and I'll just give you a quick tour. Sounds good? First off, we are starting with the tomatoes. I have 18 different varieties of tomatoes growing, and they're kind of doing quite well, everyone. I had a really bad start of the season because I didn't transplant many of my tomatoes, and they were kind of root bound, severely root bound, and I got some leaf troubles with them and everything. But as you can see, like the thinnest one of these, they look really tall and spindly, and that's just because they were kind of tall and spindly once I planted them out. And they're also kind of crowded here. This is just an experiment from my side. I just want to see how dense I could keep them. But they're putting out fruits and flowers, so I think it's going to be nice. Now this one, I have two of these plants. This is a Tomatillo or a Tomatillo, and it looks, it's kind of a good and a bad thing, because the plants are growing phenomenally. they're just taking off, and I've already pruned them back a couple of times, but they continue to grow. But as you can see, the leaves are having some really bad issues. And the thing is that it looks kind of horrible, and it looks like there's some insect damage or something, but this is really just because of the humidity in the room. This is called Edema, and you would normally see that on a pepper plant. And it's nothing dangerous or nothing wrong with the plant. It's just that it cannot dispose of all the moisture that it's taking up by the roots. So it's having some really troubles, and it ended up bursting the cells in the leaves. And this is kind of what it looks like in the beginning. Nothing dangerous about it, and then it just goes all the way to this, and it will eventually end up like this. And as you can see, there's already mold growing on this leaf, and that's just a statement that it's too moist in here. And I haven't been able to open up the doors and vent because it's been so cold outside. It's been nearly down to freezing at night, and in the daytime it's been about 7 or 8 degrees Celsius, and that's really not good for anything. So I've just been thinking that if this plant could just hold on a little bit, a couple of weeks more, I think we will get into something that's going to be a little bit better suited for it. Down here we have 2 eggplants, and these are, so I was kind of just throwing out this space, but I just had 2 plants laying around, and I thought I could just give them a chance and see, and they're already flowering, so that's going to be nice. Over here in my trellis bed I have melons and watermelons and cantaloupes and everything on the left side of the middle beam. So all these plants are different types of melons and cantaloupes and watermelons and everything. And they are really starting to grow now. They're already putting out flowers, and I think give these a couple of weeks and they're going to take off. Same with my cucumbers. They are growing, yeah, they're growing by the day now, and it's okay. I just have to throw something to the dog. So where were I? The cucumbers are doing nice, and they are growing really fast, and I expect them to start putting out flowers and fruits really soon. Down here I just had some spare space, and I just put in some dill. And I also have some ground cherries. These are from seeds from the variety we buy at the store here. So I don't know, they're from Spain, so I'm not sure what type of variety or if they would ever do nice here, because I just cut them way down. The reason was that I planted these first, and I thought that would be a nice spot for them. But then I decided to get a cherry tree. And the thing is that the cherry tree is kind of a space hog, so I don't know about the ground cherries. They're supposed to be, I grew one last year or the year before, and it was kind of like 2 meters high, so I don't expect them to do anything at all, and I'm just going to trim them back because the cherry tree is of course going to take that space if there's ever a battle. So I will just see if I can prune them short and see if I can get some fruits on them at all. The cherry trees I got 2 different varieties of sweet cherry. This one is called Stella, I think, and the other one is called Van. And this one is the main one, and it's just taken off. It is a phenomenal plant. But in the beginning I had I almost killed the whole thing, because one day I didn't have my fan system working, and I was at work and everything was just shut down here. Everything was closed, no vents at all. And it was 45 degrees Celsius here for a full day with high humidity, and everything just shriveled up. All the leaves were just going so bad. But it decided to survive, and it's continued to put out new leaves and new shoots, and it's growing really fast. And my huge harvest this year is going to be 3 cherries. So it actually got pollinated here, and I will just see how that turns out and if they're any good at all. They're supposed to be really sweet. In this bed, so this is kind of like the bed where I'm planning on having my fig tree and my cherry tree. So this is kind of like where I just threw things in, and it ended up being my onions. So I have a few onions going here, and I already also have a rosemary bush and a couple of limes, or no, this is lemon, I think. And yeah, I'm not too sure what to do with this bed in the future, but one thing is for certain, that this is going to be the survival bed for things that are in demand of milder winter. So I'm gonna need to make some sort of thing over these and have some sort of supplemental heat in the winter time, just to make sure that my fig tree survives. And I'm also curious to see if I could actually get a citrus tree to survive here also. I did pinch my my fig tree, and as you can see, it's starting to form a new bud there. So this one, it was a little bit confused because it's been growing indoors for a while, and when I brought it outside it was just so much colder. And yeah, it's been confused, to say at least. And now it's finally starting to put out new shoots, and I think it's going to survive and do really, really nice. So if I swing you around, let's take this bed first. This is just a spot of soil. So what I initially was hoping to grow here was ginger and sweet potato. And they're still in the ground, and I know they have started to produce shoots because I did dig up one of the gingers. But yeah, it's not going to do something spectacular this year. It's probably gonna just put out some shoots and stay almost the same. But this is just an experiment to see if I could have them outside here and see if it works. Okay, this is oh, again with the dog. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I just can't blame him because he just wants to be involved in everything, and all the time when I start filming, he's just going nuts and wants me to throw a stick to him. So, okay, this is my ground cherry, the South American variety, and this is by far the fastest growing thing I have in here. It's just growing like crazy. And I think, oh, there's actually one that has dropped because it's dropping every single day now, and it produces these husky pods, and if you just open it up, there's some golden berries, and this is so good. And it's so prolific. I've actually grown this indoors also, and this is by far my most recommended thing to grow both inside and outside, just because it's so easy to get it to grow, and it really can take almost any condition I've thrown at it so far. So more about that in later videos, I think. Down here we have 3 peanuts, and I'm not expecting to get a whole lot of peanuts this year. I planted these out and it was too cold, so I'm not sure if they're ever gonna produce anything at all, but it's an experiment, and we'll just have to see. Here we have some big lettuce-leafed basil or something like that, and never done it before, so I just thought I throw in some seeds in a patch there just to see what they taste like and if it's something that I want to grow more of. And over here I have mint, and that grows just like weed. So this plant is just growing and growing and growing, and I just want to have mint in here to make my mojitos. So I just want to have it staple, and yeah. Also with these ones, this is a regular thyme and this is a lemon thyme. And I also sprinkled some seeds for wild thyme, and they're growing now, and I just want to make this just a patch of thyme. So it will come back year after year. Here we have some sage, and yeah, I'm not too huge of a fan of sage, but it's used a lot in Italian cooking, and I think it's something that I should have. Here we have regular basil and cilantro, coriander. So this is just something that we eat a lot of, and I just wanted to have a few plants there to select from when we're cooking. And over here it has started to sprout. This is going to be lemongrass, and yeah, it's just starting with this one. So we will just see once it grows full in. It's going to be a little bit more exciting. Here we have an unnamed pepper plant. The thing is that there is actually a prison close to where we live, and it's for not too harsh things, so it's for like driving too fast or something like that. And they are doing a lot of gardening, and they sell plant starts in the beginning, in the spring. So I just got one plant, and they were not sure which variety it was. But the thing is that I just asked the guy that is growing, and he said that most of the seeds that he started with was actually from my selection. So it was from seeds that he got from me a couple of years ago. So this might be actually one of my own crosses. So we will just have to wait and see once it sets fruit and how it looks like. This is the pepper bed, and it is finally starting to look like something that could resemble pepper plants. The ones in the start here are not big at all. They really have a growth stunt, and it's the same thing with everything in here that I started from seed. It didn't get too much of attention in the beginning just because I was concentrating on building the greenhouse. So next year I'm gonna focus more on the plants before they go out and less on the building of a greenhouse. So yeah. This is the one that is responsible for all the plaguing. Hi, Vegas. Okay. Some of the peppers are now starting to put out fruits, and especially my Sugar Rush Peach is doing really, really nice. It's putting out fruits now, and yeah. I'm expecting everyone here to really do nice now, and as you can see, this is like the old leaves, and they're really, really gnarly and curly and look really horrible. And that's just because they were severely root bound. They've been wrongly watered, and they also had a nutrient deficiency. So everything was kind of going bad with my plants, but now they are finally putting out new growth, and it is looking phenomenal. This is actually one of my own crosses, and I'm excited to see what that looks like. I also have some rocotos and some other things. I'm not gonna go into detail on whatever everything is, but yeah, later we will take a look once it starts to set fruit on everything. This, oh, I just love these flowers. They look so beautiful. These are also eggplants. I have 5 different varieties growing here in the front, and that was just because I didn't have enough peppers to fill the whole bed, and yeah, but I think I have enough. I think I have 25 or 28 or something peppers, and now I have 7 eggplants. So yeah, and it is putting out fruits starting already, and it looks like it's been pollinating, and yeah, I'm just curious to see what this looks like. Okay, that's about it for the greenhouse. It's not too exciting for now, but it's going to be, and the tomatoes that is going on, it's looking nice. They are coming in nice. I could just show you a couple here. So I don't remember even what type of variety this is, but it's putting out fruits. At least 5 or 6 of the tomatoes are already putting out tomatoes, and not just flowers. So, oh, I did forget one plant, and by the camera stand there, this is a grape. So I just got a tiny stick, and it sprouted, and now it's actually growing. So my idea is hopefully to have this one grow all the way up and just trellis back and forth. And the idea for my cherry trees is to have them grow up also and make sort of like an entrance into the greenhouse, because the south is kind of like in that direction, or like this. So that's why this northwest facing side is going to be yeah, illuminated only at late in the evening. So it's not a horrible thing to have the large things growing on this side. It's not going to affect too much the other things here. So hopefully that will work. Okay. This was a short, no, not at all. This wasn't short at all, but it was at least a tour of my plants, and hopefully you will stick around and check out my next videos, because they're probably gonna be a little bit more focused on different things. Okay, have a nice day. may the force be with you.